We will now begin with the impact of India's freedom struggle. Many of the Goans who were in Bombay had actively participated in India's freedom struggle. In 1942, Peter Alvarez and Vishwanath Lavande had participated in the Quit India movement. You have heard about the Quit India movement when we spoke about India's struggle for freedom. The Quit India movement was started by Mahatma Gandhi on 8 August 1942. And here we are making a mention that some of the Goan leaders also participated in the Quit India movement to free India from the British rule. After this movement, the Goans in Bombay had drafted a manifesto wherein they had urged the Portuguese government in Portugal to grant civil liberties to the Goans, but it did not yield any positive results. The Goans in Bombay wrote a special letter to the Portuguese government asking them for civil liberties, but the Portuguese government refused to grant the Goans their civil liberties. We will now talk about the movement of 1946. The liberation movement gained momentum in the 1940s when India's freedom struggle was in its last phase. You all know that India got independence in 1947. So the period between 1940 to 1947 was the last phase of India's independence. During this time, the Portuguese government had continued with its policy of repression by denying the civil liberties to the people of Goa. Denying means by not giving them their civil liberties. It was at this time that Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia had come to Goa for rest on the invitation of Dr. Julião Menezes. When Dr. Lohia came to Goa, he stayed at Solna, and there he got a chance to interact with the leaders of Goa. Dr. Lohia was a socialist leader and a very active leader in the Quit India movement. He advised the people of Goa to launch a massive movement. A massive movement means a very big movement against the Portuguese. On 18 June 1946, Dr. Lohia arrived at the railway station in Margao, where he was greeted with the slogans Jai Hind. He then arrived at the open space near the municipal building in Margao. In Margao, there was a meeting that was held to challenge the ban on civil liberties. But as soon as Dr. Lohia started his speech, he was arrested and taken to the Margao police station. When the people heard of this, they all flocked in large numbers to the police station. And while they went there, they shouted slogans. On the next day, Dr. Lohia was taken to Kole and released. In this movement, the women also participated. And Vatsala Kittani was the first Goan woman to be arrested for raising the slogan Jai Hind. 18 June was later commemorated as Goa Revolutionary Day, and the 18 June road in Panjim is a remembrance of this event. In September 1946, Dr. Lohia returned to Goa, but he was arrested as soon as he reached Kole and then imprisoned in the Aguada jail for 10 days, after which he was released on the borders of Goa. After Ram Manohar Lohia was sent out of Goa, the movement slowly died down due to the repressive measures of the Portuguese government. Leaders like T.B. Kunya and Purushottam Kakotkar were arrested and deployed, or they were sent to Portugal. P.P. Shirodkar was deported to Angola. Angola is in Africa. And Divakar Kakotkar was deported to Cabo Verde. However, Dr. Lohia continued the movement from Belgaum. on the advice of Mahatma Gandhi. Let us now move on to the next subtopic, National Congress Goa. The National Congress Goa was established at Londa near Belgaum, with Dr. Ram Hegde as its president. The National Congress Goa had leaders like Peter Alvarez, Pundalik Kaitonde, Mark Fernandez, Anthony de Souza, and others. This organization strictly believed in the principles of Satyagraha. Satyagraha means non-violence. Let us now talk about the Azad Gomantak Dal. At the session of the National Congress Goa, a section of its members founded the Azad Gomantak Dal with the intention of conducting an armed struggle against the Portuguese. An armed struggle means to fight using ammunition. Some of its active members were Vishwanath Lavande, Prabhakar Sinari, Bala Raya Mapari, Rock Santan Fernandez, and Mohan Ranade. There was yet another organization that was formed at this time was known as the Goa Vimochan Samiti. This organization was established in 1954 with the only objective of liberating Goa from the Portuguese rule. Its headquarters were located at Pune. This organization conducted mass meetings all over India. People from all parts of India offered financial and moral support to this movement. Besides these, there was also the Goa Action Committee. The Goa Action Committee was formed in 1953 in Bombay under the leadership of Dr. T.B. Kunya to bring all the Goan nationalists and chalk out a definite program to liberate Goa. We will now talk about the Satyagraha of 1954. On 15th August 1954, the National Congress Goa launched its first Satyagraha in Goa under the leadership of three leaders, Mark Fernandez, Alfred Afonso, and Anthony de Souza. In this Satyagraha, around 4,000 to 6,000 Satyagrahis were expected to participate. When the Portuguese came to know that 4,000 or 6,000 Satyagrahis are expected to participate in this Satyagraha, the first thing that they did was they blocked the borders of Goa. They blasted the bridges and ordered to shoot at sight. They also suspended the railway and ferry services and clamped a curfew on Goa. In spite of all this, a large number of Satyagrahis managed to enter Goa. Alfred Afonso hoisted the Indian flag on the Terracol fort on the Goa borders. But the Portuguese managed to recapture the fort within 24 hours. This was followed by Satyagraha in the different parts of Goa.